The running back competition is going to be a key position to watch, especially to see who steps up after Pacheco and possibly CAH. One running back in particular has been working right after Pacheco for the fourth day in a row, which could be a good sign for him if he makes the most of these opportunities. We'll talk more about that and other camp highlights, but first let's look at Mahomes' contract, which keeps looking better and better. First, you'll notice a new face in the background, our new editor, Alex. We don't have time to move him today since we're rushing to get this video out, so bear with us. Now, let's dive into two big quarterback contract extensions that happened yesterday. These are worth mentioning before we get into camp practice, highlights, takeaways, and injuries. Every time a quarterback gets a new contract, it usually sets a new benchmark. Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa agreed to a 4-year, $212.4 million extension, giving him an average of $53.1 million per year, the highest in NFL history for a 4-year extension. But that didn't last long. A few hours later, the Packers announced a 4-year, $220 million deal with Jordan Love, making him the highest-paid quarterback in NFL history with $55 million per year, a $75 million signing bonus, and $155 million in new guarantees. This pushes him up there with Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. The highest-paid quarterbacks now include Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts. Last year, Mahomes' contract was reworked, moving money from the back end to the front, making his average $52.5 million per year from 2023 to 2026. He will likely renegotiate by 2026, if not sooner, keeping his average higher. Despite this, none of these quarterbacks are as valuable as Patrick Mahomes. Each year, as the salary cap rises, the latest QB contracts become the highest or close to it. Mahomes deserves to be the highest paid, but don't be misled by numbers alone. The unique 10-year contract he signed has set the team up for continued success. Now, on to today's practice updates. Wide receiver Justin Watson, who injured his foot during Thursday's practice, was not out there. He was on the sidelines on Friday, and coach Andy Reid described his injury as day-to-day. There's no clear timeline for his return, but Matt Derrick noted that Watson was seen catching passes after practice, kneeling on one knee without a boot or noticeable limp. Hopefully he returns soon. Safety Justin Reid is still sidelined with a quad injury, but Xavier Worthy was back in pads for the second day after recovering from strep throat. He's been a bit quiet in practice so far. He's a rookie and a lighter guy, so he needs to learn how to fight through contact. He missed most of the OTAs due to a hamstring issue and is still getting back to full strength after being sick. While it's good news to see Worthy back, we got some concerning news about defensive back Nazeeh Johnson. He was seen limping during one-on-ones today. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but he's been dealing with growing pains as he recovers from his ACL surgery from last year's training camp. According to Sam McDowell, he walked off the field, got checked out in the tent, tried to rejoin practice, but eventually headed to the locker room and wasn't seen again. Nazeeh has been working with the first-team defense, competing for the starting cornerback spot with Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson, but he needs to get his knee right first. With Nazeeh out, cornerback Keith Taylor stepped in with the first-team defense, and Jamari Connor was at safety. Taylor looked solid. Another player who left practice but came back was wide receiver Justin Ross. He left on his own but returned before practice ended. It seems like it wasn't anything serious. Keep an eye on Kadarius Toney, who was spotted limping a bit and taking his helmet off after a hit in 7-on-7 drills. He did go back out there, so it doesn't seem serious. Toney has had a strong camp so far, as mentioned in yesterday's video. His stock is rising compared to players like Sky Moore. The big question for Toney is his durability. He needs to stay healthy through camp and into the season. He's versatile and dangerous with the ball in his hands, useful in the pass game, run game, and on special teams. But his durability is a concern, as he had his ankle wrapped recently. Now, some practice highlights. Kingsley Keke was once again the left tackle for the first-team offense, with Mike Kando at left guard since Joe Thuney is still on the PUP list. This is the second day in a row with Kingsley at left tackle and Kando at left guard. Running back Denerick Prince has been the second running back in, immediately after Isaiah Pacheco, for 4 straight practices. This is encouraging, and I'm excited to see Prince in the preseason games. Andy Reid mentioned Prince is still ramping up after an illness, so the pecking order might change, but Prince is definitely one to watch. Running back Louis Rees-Zammit took a handoff from Carson Wentz but missed the right hole. It's just one rep. but it shows that Reese Summit will likely make the roster through special teams, especially as a returner. Special teams coach Dave Taub mentioned him during his presser today. Reese Summit did take a direct snap today, pushing ahead for a few yards. Carson Steele also played some fullback and had a couple of nice runs. The Chiefs lined up with 6 offensive linemen, with W. Morris as the 6th guy, an eligible receiver. Mahomes targeted him for a touchdown pass, which was incomplete, but I like the idea of trying for another big man touchdown. Later, Mahomes connected with Hollywood Brown on a play-action pass for a score. He did the same with Travis Kelce, who somehow was left wide open for a touchdown. It amazes me how the best tight end in football can be left open. Sometimes it's the defense's fault, but often it's Kelce's sneaky ability to get open despite the attention he gets. Kelce spoke to the media today, and while I won't go into detail, he mentioned that this is his 12th year, and he aims to stay healthy this season. Last year, he played through injuries, so staying healthy is a big focus for him as he leads the Chiefs' offense. He loves training camp, believes it's crucial, and thinks it's where boys become men. He's excited to work hard and lead the team toward another championship. Hollywood Brown also made an impressive catch in the flats on a rollout from Mahomes, making a couple of defenders miss after the catch. On the defensive side, Chris Jones dominated multiple plays during the inside run period, going one-on-one against Kingsley Sumatia. Jones continues to look like the dominant player he is, which helps the offensive lineman improve by going up against him. In special teams news, Harrison Butker nailed a 60-yard field goal, which was amazing. Punter Matt Araiza had a perfect punt from the opposite 40-yard line, landing at the 4-yard line. The punt returner order today was Mecole Hardman, Nico Riggio, Xavier Worthy, Kadarius Toney, and Montrell Washington. This order makes sense, as I expect Mecole to make the 53-man roster and be the primary punt returner. I also like seeing Nico as the second guy, fighting for a roster spot. Special teams coach Dave Taub mentioned several potential punt returners, including Xavier Worthy, Kadarius Toney, Mecole Hardman, Hollywood Brown, and Nico Riggio. Regarding kickoffs, Butker will be the primary kicker due to his accuracy, but Justin Reed and LRZ can also be used if an extra coverage guy is needed. LRZ will get the first look on kickoffs, and Taub is excited to give him a chance. Let me know your thoughts on today's practice and camp standouts. Who are you excited to see as the days go by? Until next time, let's go Chiefs!